Hi guys, so this is an excerpt from a club video that I did for SHEIN or SHEIN, however you pronounce it. I went through a little bit of everything and sort of talked about which body types and color types that these items would be good for. So if you are interested in these kinds of videos, I have a few of them on YouTube that I'll link down below, and I also have some of them on Club too that are a bit longer, so I will leave a link to Club if you are interested. Okay, let's get into it. Alright, so first we're looking at tops. So here we have the tops that SHEIN has, and let's just start with the first one. So this one, I would say the color itself is good for warm and delicate maybe, and the top itself, I would call it basically for sharp and soft, or the closest type to that is soft dramatic. So I think this is for sharp and soft because you can see that the sleeves have some of those elongated rounded shapes, and the lines are a bit too clean. Like the neckline has a really clean line, the top is a bit more tailored and just has those cleaner lines. So I think it would look very, very formal on beveled soft, on soft natural, and it would look really perfect on sharpened soft. So yeah, I would say this is primarily for sharpened soft. And of course, it also does have sort of like the 3/4 sleeve, so it could work for mixed taut paired with an opposite bottom. And this is the thing with mixed taut, and I always say this, mixed taut, the closest is flamboyant gamine. Mixed taut looks good with that mixture of opposites top to bottom, so basically most or all of these tops could work for mixed taut paired with the opposite type of bottom, and by opposite I mean a different set of lines. So if the top is lightweight, the bottom is a thicker fabric. If the top is a thicker fabric, the bottom is lightweight, etc., etc. Or if the top is fitted, the bottom is loose, things like that. So if you're mixed taut and you're watching this, just because I don't mention that it's going to look good on you doesn't mean that you can't make it work, because you could make pretty much anything work in the right outfit. Okay, but this is primarily sharpened soft. Okay, how about this one? So this one I would say is most likely probably beveled. It does have that sort of draping. The bow is bigger and it's a bit more unconstructed, so any sort of beveled or natural type would be really flattered by this. Okay, this one, rounded mixed, closest is theatrical romantic, so you can see the lace detailing, and this would also work for I would say maybe mixed soft, because it actually mixed soft is soft gamine. So maybe with a higher necklace, sometimes you can sort of simulate a higher neckline by wearing a higher necklace, and so that could work. And maybe with tousled hair instead of glamorous hair, it could work. It would look really sort of sexy on mixed soft. It could work because it is fitted, it's not sort of loose and luxurious. And of course I can see mixed taut, like I said, wearing this and this, depending on how you pair it. And this is primarily for rounded and rounded mixed. I wouldn't recommend this for mixed soft. So you can see the difference between this one and this one. This one has a lot more structure to it, so it is for rounded mixed soft, kind of like that level of fittedness, right? And this definitely has a lot of softness to it, and it has that waist definition. The fabric is lightweight and it doesn't have that bodice that's really fitted. So this is more for rounded mixed. So you can see sort of the progression of how this is much softer than this one in terms of the fit. And the colors are wonderful for, I would say maybe, of course they're cool colors, so we're talking about cool and radiant, or we're talking about a cool and delicate person who might be flattered by bright colors. So in that sense, I would say, anyone who is flattered by bright colors and is cool would look really good in these two tops. Okay, let's move on to the next row. So here, I would say this would look really nice on blended soft. It has those clean lines, and overall it's a really sort of, clean line type of look, and the neckline is clean, it's not draped, and it's also has more of a soft feel to it. It's a lightweight fabric, so that's a part of why I would say blended soft, it would be best for blended soft. Also rounded could wear this, rounded mixed could wear this, so this top is pretty versatile. Anything that blended soft can wear, rounded and rounded mix can generally wear as well, depending on how they style it. It's just that the other way around doesn't always work, because rounded and rounded mix, so romantic and theatrical romantic, they have way more detailing, right? They have way more lace, way more frills, way more lightweight fabric, things like that. And blended soft is almost like an understated rounded type. So soft classic is almost like an understated romantic. That's kind of how I've always seen it. So in that sense, you can, if you're rounded, you can get a blended soft item and then just dress it up. You know, you can style your hair a bit more glamorous or something like that, but you can't always dress an item down if you're blended soft, because you as blended soft look good in a head to toe look where everything matches. So you can't just wear something that is a bit more glamorous or something that it has a lot of lace with maybe like jeans, like ripped jeans or something. You can't really do that. So as blended soft, you know, you can't really dress things down. You have to like look at the item and sort of find an outfit that works with it, not juxtaposes it. Okay, so yeah, blended soft, and this color would be great for cool and delicate. Cool green is a really nice bright color for cool and delicate, because cool green is close to neutral but slightly cool, and cool and delicate is also close to neutral and slightly cool, so it won't match cool and delicate in chroma, but it will match them in temperature. So cool and delicate would look good in this, cool and radiant would also look pretty good in this, and even warm and delicate would look pretty nice in this as well, because green is close to neutral, so you know, warm and delicate will also look pretty nice in this. Okay, now we have the next one. So this one, I would say mixed taut is basically the only type that I'd really recommend wears this, because the pattern is really chunky and animated at the same time, and we also have the contrasting trim, I guess, the contrasting neckline and everything, and the contrasting color pattern. So this is for mixed taut, and of course the fit is more fitted, and it's also short lines because it's cropped, so that is mixed taut. All right, so now let's look through and try to figure out if I can find some for blended sharpened and sharpened. I think this would look pretty good on blended sharpened. I think that the v-neck is really good. It has those clean lines, and even though it's a lighter weight fabric, it falls really cleanly. So sharpened and blended sharpened, so dramatic and dramatic classic, would both look really good in this top. And of course the color is for cool and radiant. And if you are blended sharpened or sharpened, maybe consider wearing it with a bottom that isn't as contrasting, so maybe some light wash jeans. I mean, it doesn't have to be a white bottom, it can just be something that is not as contrasting. And this one is for mixed soft, so that would be soft gamine, and you can see it has a high neckline and the animated print. It would also work for rounded mixed as well. And here we have, it's basically a halter top, so I would say it would probably work best for rounded. It seems like it would have a pretty soft fit to it. Here we have blended sharpened, maybe in a very casual look. You know, I think the v-neck and the dark color works really well for blended sharpened. So the thing is that the dark color is going to add in that visual weight, and the v-neck adds in some geometrics. And even though the lines of this top are not very clean, you can see that the shoulder is kind of more of a slouchy shoulder. It's not a very tapered shoulder. I still think that for a casual look for blended sharpened, this would work pretty well. And yeah, the v-neck adds those geometrics. And if it were in a lighter color, I would still say that could work for blended sharpened, especially if you have a deeper skin tone. This would be really beautiful because it would sort of act as a contrasting geometric element, you know, and that would be really beautiful, you know, the white top sort of contrasting with, you know, even if you have tan skin or anything like that, that would be really pretty because it really brings out that geometric neckline. So blended sharpened, you would look really good in this. Okay, and now we have these basic crop tops. This is again something that you can style any which way, especially if you're mixed soft or mixed taut, sorry. And I would say that, well, we can go through the colors. This is mostly for, so this one, the beige one, is for warm and delicate. The cream or ivory is also for warm and delicate or warm and radiant. And this could work for cool and delicate. This green is a bit cooler, and this is cool and radiant, the black. So actually we have all the colors, I mean all the undertones could wear this. You know, we don't have any bright colors for warm and radiant, but the cream could work for warm and radiant. And now we have this. So this I would say would work for mixed taut, because I would say that it just has kind of, it doesn't have as soft of a feel as, let's say, this one. This is more for rounded, but this would work for mixed or mixed taut, or maybe even beveled or beveled soft. You know, it does have those bright colors, which is going to look really good on mixed and beveled soft. And also it has that that halter top, which kind of can act like a high neckline sometimes, but at the same time it's also lower. So, you know, I think that it depends on if you like the effect of a halter top, if you're beveled soft. And the brighter color is, in this case, going to be really nice for cool and radiant. Or, by the way, this kind of warm blue could also work really beautifully for warm and radiant. And actually, look at this lady. She's most likely warm and radiant, and just high contrast warm and radiant. So, you know, that type of color looks really beautiful against warm skin too, because it's going to make your skin look warmer. So here we have this one. I would say this is rounded mixed, or rounded. You know, I think that pattern, you could say, well, Miriam, this is a mixed soft pattern. You know, it's kind of like a mixed pattern, like a mean pattern, because it's kind of animated. But I would say it's definitely, I agree, it is kind of a mixed pattern, right? But at the same time, it's also not that high contrast. You know, it almost looks like it could be lace, right? It's not so high contrast that it's animated. So that's why I'm perfectly comfortable recommending this for rounded and rounded mixed. And also because rounded, you know, would actually look really nice with that neckline being a bit softer, sort of a soft draping of the neckline. Not in a way that it looks messy, but just a little bit. And the straps are also dainty. So the straps being thin and dainty is going to look really good on rounded or rounded mixed or mixed soft. So yeah, so I would say, oh yeah, of course, the waist emphasis. The color is primarily for warm and delicate. It looks like a warm green. In the photo, you know, it looks like a warm green, and it looks like the white might be an ivory or it might be a clear white, but either way the green is a warm green. So I would say warm and delicate. And especially if you're rounded and you like this top, I think it would look really good on you, because, you know, that sort of green is a bit softer, and the top has a very soft look to it and a very soft feel to it. So I think it would look really good on rounded. Rounded looks good in both pastels and soft pastels and bright colors, while rounded mixed tends to do better with bright colors. Even though they can do pastels, they tend to do a little bit better with bright colors. So, and of course, an overuse of neutrals for either of those types is really, can look really heavy. So this one, let's think about this one. Maybe beveled soft, you know, I think it is really quite a loose top. It does kind of have those loose sleeves and loose tapering. So, and the pattern on this, again, it almost looks like, you know, some patterns are, they can almost look like texture, if that makes sense. So in that sense, I would say that beveled soft would look just right in this. So yeah, I would say beveled soft. And this one, I would probably say, you know, depending on how it's styled, you could even wear this if you're a beveled soft with some lightweight but like slightly oversized jewelry. So the thing with jewelry for beveled soft is that you do want it to be a bit of a larger size, but you don't want it to look heavy. Like if you put it on a scale, it's literally heavy. You know, you want it to look a bit lighter because you have that softness, but you don't want the size of it to be too small. So if you're beveled soft, you could style this with some jewelry that is a bit oversized but has a more of a lightweight feel to it. And if you are rounded, you could style this with some intricate jewelry. I mean, you could style this any way, no matter your type. because it does have the V-neck, but it also has waist definition, so you could really style this almost as any type. I would say that this color is maybe going to be good for warm and delicate, who also looks good in bright colors. So like if you're rounded and you're warm and delicate, if you are mixed and you're warm and delicate, this is going to look really pretty on you, and it's just going to work beautifully because that kind of color, that kind of green, it's slightly warm, but again, on warm and delicate, that's one of the bright colors that is really easy for you to wear. And also, I would say the contrast levels, you can see this lady is a bit more tan. I think that looks really beautiful. So you could wear this as someone with any type of contrast levels, because usually brighter colors, they do create contrast, just because at the end of the day, a bright green is going to be more bright than, let's say, a skin tone ever will. So they do create contrast just in that way. So that is it, you guys. That is the excerpt. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll leave a link down below to how you can join club and to some more videos that are on YouTube that are similar to this. And if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them down below. And if you have video requests or suggestions, then leave them down below as well. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.